Greetings, friends. Welcome to our circle, holding the vigil to bring harmony, right relations, and peace to the Middle East. We continue our weekly work. Before we proceed with our work today, I want to remind us about a technical limitation we have on this Zoom platform of 100 participants, but we expect there might be more people who want to join us, and therefore we broadcasting this vigil in parallel to Zoom. We broadcast it on YouTube, and in the link in the chat you can find the link to YouTube broadcast. So we invite some of us to migrate to YouTube, thus allowing more people to join us on Zoom. Once again, this meditation will be parallel broadcasted on both Zoom and YouTube. So this way we can expand our group circle. Thank you. Over to you, Uta.
Okay. Thank you, dear friends, everyone, for being with us again in this vigil on behalf of the situation in the Middle East. We are very grateful that so many of us are holding this in a continual manner. We can feel that it's building up a wave that is building up momentum. Making our will to love, our will to peace, becoming stronger and in a continual flow. I invite Helen now from Jerusalem to tell us about her recent experiences, to give us a taste of what is happening on the ground. Please, Helen.
Thank you. And really thank you for being in this forum. And with the human drama that's occurring nowadays in the area, you are probably filled in. It's mostly now the exchange of human lives. Israeli captives, hostages in Gaza, versus Palestinian prisoners in Israeli prisons. And in the middle, the help from aiding countries like Egypt and Qatar. It is all very, very trying on our emotional body. And it brings up many, many questions to be seen in the future. I would like to report on an experience that had quite an impact on me, a balancing impact. Last week, I attended a meeting of an organization which I am part of. And this organization is called the Parents Circle. It's a joint Israeli-Palestinian endeavor of over 600 bereaved families living in Israel, and all of them, part of this Parents Circle, lost someone in the conflict. So last week in this meeting, the speakers were 4 fresh new participants, means new bereaved parents who suffered losses since October 7th events. 2 Israelis, 2 Palestinians, talking to about a crowd of 450 people, all bereaved parents over the years. I was amazed by the authenticity of putting their own truth on the table. The raw pain of their loss and real-time violence was so vividly expressed. So what I'll do now is I'll bring a summary of their narratives in this meeting, just to get an idea. And this narrative, as we can expect, is focused on their pain and their difficult, harsh experience. I will bring first the Israeli narrative that mostly spoke of the shock of the brutality of October 7th attack. Torture and so on, murders of civilians, horrible. We have not been prepared in spite of the many warnings. We are horrified of the desecration of human lives and human bodies. We are mourning again and again the non-ending repetitive situation, which seems to be irreparable. We are angry towards the attacker and towards our own failing leadership. There's a need to eliminate the terror organization. How much can we take more? Together with the anger, we have this wonderful togetherness with which we fight to bring hostages back home. We put all our heart into it, all our emotions into it, all our identification into it, our humanness, but enough is enough. We need to live in peace. So this is the short resume of the Israeli narrative in this meeting, without going into the deeper discussion that took place. Now, I bring the Palestinian narrative. We lost most our family members and assets in this brutal bombing of Gaza. Total destruction. Every few years, we suffer losses inflicted by you. We are imprisoned, and our young generation is raised in a prison inmate consciousness. We, living in Israel, are identified with our brothers in Gaza. We are in deep pain and anger. We Palestinians are here in Israel as second and third class citizens. We are not considered as regular human beings, but as people related to terror. We face invasion by you and abandoned by the Arab world. We are refugees for generations. This is the narrative, yeah? And it continues what was in this meeting. One of the parents, the Arab parents, said, let's face it, we Palestinians don't like you. Neither do you Israelis like us. And this will not change in the near future. It has been there for endless times. And the one thing we have in common is the pain of this never-ending loss. And we do understand each other in this topic. This is why we are here in this forum of the parents, to hurt together, to think together, maybe towards some resolution or whatever. But we're in the same in the same pot. Moshe from the forum and me, Abdallah, from the forum, and many others are good friends on the personal level as human beings. And we share the same pain. And very often, even our views are different or incompatible. But personally, we get along. Let's stop this idle talk of ideal peace. And let's focus on the crucial necessity of talking about reaching agreements for the best of all involved. Let's finally sit and negotiate for truth. This is the resume of the Palestinian narrative in this meeting, without going into the deeper discussion that took place then. This practical, pragmatic attitude of cooperative thinking is what has been decided upon in this meeting. 450 people. And out of the 600 families that are in the forum. And maybe it can be a mini template of what can be done on a bigger scale. Leave aside the emotions. Talk real stuff. It's about time. And then walk your talk. I, on a personal level, can mention now my actual state of affairs. Among the emotions I feel and the extreme sadness, I see the reality of the refugees in Gaza. And now this new reality of the refugees in Israel who left their homes because of the war. All human beings. And my heart aches, and it opens at the same time. There's an urgency here of talking, of putting things on the table. And I am looking forward to the next meeting in this forum with those who dare share with honesty. Those who create with courage the maybe new thought form that can break this vicious circle we live in. It's quite an endeavor. And I want to thank you for listening to this rather long sharing of a personal experience. And I'm very grateful for your being here. Many blessings. Over to you, Uta.
Thank you, Helen, for this deep sharing. We take it now into meditation. We will not have a sharing after the meditation, just want to remind, but we continue to hold the deep heart space for the times ahead, and we will reconvene the vigil next week at the same time. So let's prepare for meditation. settling into our body. Taking a few deep breaths. And slowly coming into our inner silence. Feeling our heart. And finding within it a point of equilibrium. Let the silence settle into our mind. Calm spaciousness. And let us come now together as souls, as silent watchers. Visualize ourselves standing together with the many people all over the world whose hearts are now turned to the people in the Middle East. Forming a huge circle around the area, the witnessing circle. And sense all hearts joining in this circle of care. And all minds joining, making one unified telepathic field, releasing now all partial thoughts and feelings, realizing that all participants in the war are souls as we are. And realizing that on the recognition of the sacredness of each person and the oneness of humanity, peace is built. As impartial observers, let us now take a look at the area. Envision Israel and the Palestinian areas of the West Bank and the Gaza Strip. Adding the neighboring countries, Egypt to the south, Jordan and Syria to the east, and Lebanon to the north. And holding in our awareness this area as being part of the wider Middle East region. Standing steady, impartial, as silent watchers, opening our awareness now to the emotional and mental situation that underlie the outer situation. Just breathing and holding. Becoming aware of the higher forces that stand with us, behind us. And we are opening our hearts to this love and to this soul-guided vision, filling ourselves with it. And invoking the help of these higher forces. Let the forces of light bring illumination to mankind. Let the spirit of peace be spread abroad. May people of goodwill everywhere meet in a spirit of cooperation. May forgiveness on the part of all be the keynote at this time. Let power attend the efforts of the great ones. So let it be, and help us to do our part. So we are standing in our witnessing circle around this inflamed area, being focused in our heart. Making sure that our heart is pure, that we released all judgment, all preconceived ideas of right or wrong. Let the quality of our love count now. Imagine our heart center as a radiant sun. And now visualize and intend a shaft of pure golden white light pouring through each of our hearts onto the area of the Middle East. Visualizing this huge wave of light pouring onto this area and holding it for a carefully sustained minute. A huge wave of golden white light. We stand as a peace-commanding presence. And we visualize that this light is strengthening the hands of all people of goodwill in the area, and especially those decision makers, advisors, and influencers who work behind the scenes for the highest good of all, who hold this whole picture and work for the highest good of all. See the unifying and clarifying energy encompass everyone, the whole area, and see it spreading out to the entire Middle East and throughout the world. As we now sound the great invocation in Arabic and in Hebrew, let us visualize how this energy is being anchored in the Middle East.
من نقطة النور في عقل الله ليشع النور في عقول الناس وليهبط النور إلى الأرض من نقطة الحب في قلب الله ليتسرب الحب إلى قلوب الناس وليرجع السيد الآتي إلى الأرض من المركز الذي تعرف منه إرادة الله لتقود الغاية إرادة الناس البسيطة، تلك الغاية التي يدركها المعلمون ويخدمونها، من المركز الذي ندعوه بالجنس البشري لينتج رسم الحب والنور ويختم على الباب الذي يقيم به الشر ليجدد النور والحب والقوة الرسم على الأرض.
מנקודת האור אשר בדעת אל, יזרום האור אל דעת האדם, ירד האור על פני האדמה. מנקודת האהבה אשר בלב האל, תזרום האהבה אל לבבות אנוש, ישוב מורה עולם על פני האדמה. מהמרכז שבו נודע רצון האל, תנחה תכלית את רצונות האדם, תכלית אותה מוראי האנושות יודעים ומשרתים. מהמרכז אשר נקרא המין האנושי, תוגשם תוכנית האהבה והאור, ויחתם הפתח אל הרע. יהי רצון ויחדשו אור, אהבה, עוצמה, את התוכנית על פני האדמה.
Oh.